Hello, good evening. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Muhammad Asim. Today we will discuss about the Nexus repository manager. Okay, this is provided by Sonatype. And why do we require what is Nexus repository? Okay, where is applicable, what, why, and where. We will cover this concept. Then we'll go back to EC2 instance. We'll try to install on EC2 Ubuntu OS operating system. Okay, and I will show you how you can access through GUI to the web browser, and you can host your Nexus repository on port number 8081. Okay, so this is the basic concept. The flow will be the same way, and I'll make it as simple as possible. Okay, so what is Nexus repository? For that case, a Nexus repository is a popular tool which is used for continuous CI/CD deployment pipelines for managing software artifacts. Okay, so main purpose of this Nexus repository to store your artifacts when you create the artifacts for your application. It might be like .war, .jar files, okay, or you may have any npm packages, right? The output of npm. So whatever the output you have, the artifacts we have created for your application, that you can store in Nexus repository manager. Okay, so this is the main object of this. Okay, and it serves as a repository for storing various distribution binary components such as library frameworks. It can be any framework, Java frameworks, or any dependencies. Okay, and it is centralized location to store artifacts, okay, generated during CI/CD process. And we can create the users for our Nexus repository, and we can assign different team member different access in order to access our artifacts and to centralize these artifacts, and it can be used in multiple teams of our organization. Okay, only to be one artifact being used for the multiple purposes. Okay, so it what is provide us the consistency, because we know what's the outcome of our application, that is artifacts. Okay, and it will reduce the risk of disparity between the development, testing, and production environment. The main case is that, let's say we have one application which have already tested in one environment, need to be tested in different environment, right? Or deploy on the different environment. So there will be always confusion between the artifacts. What artifact you're going to use it? Let's say when the development team has tested 1.1, for example, we are taking a use case as 1.1. So let me just show you the example. So what is I'll cover that part. Let's say that, okay, development team, what they have done, they have added some of the features, and they have pushed to the GitHub, right? From there our Jenkins has triggered, and it have used npm dependencies, node.js installation. There is gone all the scans, the prerequisite of our application, right? OSAP and tree scan, and in here what we were doing, we are pushing our, in order to deploy before, we will push to where? Nexus. Okay, Nexus. Here we will push the artifacts whatever we have created, that to the Nexus. With that artifacts, we'll use that artifact and we'll deploy in different environment. It might be a dev environment, it will be a production environment, or the production environment. The centralized whenever the engineers are working in an environment. And let's discuss one more point. The point is that how this Nexus is different from GitHub. Okay, so don't get confused about the GitHub and Nexus repository. Nexus repository is different, and the GitHub is different. GitHub is usually used to store your source code of your application. Okay, in the GitHub repositories, where you're going to store all your codes and the version of your source code management, and you can create multiple repositories in that. You can store from there, you can integrate with the with your pipelines. From there you can create a webhooks. Okay, this is this GitHub usually is used to store your source code, whereas whereas Nexus repository is used to store let me go. And what happened, dependency management. Okay, in a CI/CD flow, application often depend on various libraries or dependency. So what happened when you create create one outcome of over your application, that is artifacts, so that you can store and manage this dependency, ensuring the correct version used consistently across the different stages of pipeline. Just I demonstrated the same use case is mentioning over here. The next, release management. Okay, so Nexus repository manage help the release process by storing release candidate or filing artifacts in a structured manner. Let's say we have one time we have created this pipeline and we have pushed to the production environment. Before that we have given tag as 1.1, right? 1.1. The next artifact, when we are creating with the new additional features, let's say we have added new features. Okay, for that what we will do it, we will add one more tag name. Okay, version, like a version, we will add it as 0.11, 1.2, 1.3. okay, so we can add multiple ways, right? We can keep the versionization. With that we can use for different environment deployments. Okay, this concept is clear. Integration of CI/CD, it can be integrated in any CI/CD pipelines. It has multiple features and it can be seamlessly integrated with your Jenkins, GitLab, and TeamCity, Bombo, any kind of CI/CD pipeline. Okay, and it can retrieve artifacts as part of CI/CD. And the security pies, Nexus repository manager features for security and governance, such as access control. You can create the multiple roles, users for your Nexus repository. You can add role-based permission to that, and you can even have the vulnerability scanning. Okay, just to know so that your artifact does have any vulnerability in it, or it contains any like unwanted exposure of your any kind of dependency or APIs, anything else. Okay, so this provide you an Nexus repository is a typical deployment in infrastructure organization. Okay, and the main important features of the several benefits, as I mentioned, it will provide you centralized artifact management, improve the build efficiency, right? By catching dependency in artifacts, Nexus repository manager and fix improve build times, right? Developer don't need to download the dependency for external source, right? And dependency management, it can help managing dependency effectively. It will store and organize dependency. Okay, the collaboration will be better because all your team will be working on one artifacts. Okay, version control is better one because you can provide all the version with the artifacts. Let's say 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 with so on so features. Okay, one with the billing feature, one with the dashboard feature, one with any another external features. Okay, so with that tag we can provide all the details. And security implies, I already mentioned that. Okay, it can be integrated. Scalable performance is better because we are deploying in our servers. We can manage based on our the loads. Okay, so highly is possible. So now let's go and see the official website of on Nexus repository. So this is the official website of Nexus repository. Okay, this is provided by Sonatype. If you check it over here, then you will find a multiple ways. There is two types provided from them. That is, one type is coming as a download free like community version, next type Nexus repository as, right? One more is coming as a pro version, which is for the organization. So it's providing some feature is not available, like SSO, like single sign-on is not available, runtime storage is not available in this. So some of the applications, some of the benefits is coming with like pro versions, right? So this is how things goes. So if you want to download that, just you ensure all the details here, business, company, country, and diff, hit the download. You will be able to download here in your downloaded folders. Okay, so I will avoid this. I have already tested right? Before I try to download, and I found that links also. So what we will do, we will go quickly to the EC2, right? And we will install one server. We'll create one VM, okay? And I will say as Sonar type Nexus, right? So just I'll go with the Ubuntu way, and I'll go with a 22.0 version. Then I'll go with because I required load, so I'll go with T2 medium, fine, okay. And the key pair I'll be selecting with this. Let me just check it out, which key pair do I have. Do I have? Anyways, I'll create one more because I think I don't have an existing one. So I'll give it Nexus test, right? So I'll go with RSA, right? Encrypted private. Just I'll create key pair. So it will be downloaded folder. I'll keep everything default because I'm working over the testing purpose itself. Okay, the ports remaining will open later on. So I'll review quickly and launch instance. Within few seconds our server will be up and running. So for that use case, we'll go and we'll access from mobile extreme or servers. Okay, so I'll quickly open mobile extreme to just minimize the time. Why? Just click session, go to your instance. So it's loading. Just click here, right? The state is pending, but still let me configure that. With that time I'm able to see 2x2 check pass. So I'll give Ubuntu as a default user, right? I'll give the path of that which I have downloaded, just 10 key, right? So let me try to access. Okay, I'll wait for the few seconds. It's showing that still is not configured. No issue. Let me just wait for a few seconds. Okay, I think I should be able to now control R. So now its authentication is done successfully. The first thing we will switch to super user, right? And I will update the packages because we are going for the first time -wife. Okay, so let me just exit and cd home Ubuntu, right? So I'll switch back to root users, right? Sudo su. Well, if I check over here, I don't have anything, right? So what I will do it, I will use only the simple command to get the Sonar download package in our server. Okay, just click over here. It start packages getting downloaded on our Ubuntu Linux VM. Okay, if you order to see that, you will see that there is a one directory is fetched, and it is in the .gz, right, compressed way. So in order to do this uncrypts unzip, right, so I'll use the command tar xf, right? The name of the file, the name of the file is the same, that is latest unix.tar, right? Okay. So what happened, it will just if you ll over, you will see that it's already tar is untarred. Okay, this is the one which is coming up, right? So what I will do it, I will move to the Nexus, right, cd, and I will ll over here. I will able to see there is a one bin directory over here. So if you just check with it, fine, I'm able to see one directory over here, right, the bin. So what I will do it, I'll go inside the directory, right, cd bin, where there is a one shell script by default. If you ll over here, you'll see that one Nexus repository is there, right, Nexus. Okay, so if I cat Nexus So I should be able to see all the shell script written over here by the like default, right? So I have to run this in order to do that. So before that, what happened, in order to do this, I required Java based like Java installed in our server, in our Linux machine. Okay, so this part we have missed out. So what we will do it, we will install Java 9 version. Okay, so what we will do it, we will switch back to main directory, right? Okay, and the main thing, I'll go back to the home, just sure. And what I will do it, I will install OpenJDK 8 version, right? So just I'll click it over here and it will prove me that 2s, right? So I will install JDK. Let us validate Java version after the installation of all the packages and dependencies for the Java, right? So we are going with the Java 8 version. So this is a prerequisite, right? If I go over here, so let's go here. So this is how actually it's look like, and how what supporting programming language that is supports. So if you check it over here, so you will be seeing that just a second. I think I missed out part. Anyways, I will explain from here. Okay, which programming language does it supports? It supports all maximum all the package, all the programming language. It will cover all your npm if you're going with any JavaScript application, right? So you can cover with that. If you're going with the Java application, JavaScript with this, and Java here, right? If you're going with Kubernetes or a Helm chart, so this type of also is set up for the repository work. Okay, and one more thing, a Sonatype Nexus repository set up to work with repository with the way you do. It has three type of repository. One is hosted one, second is proxy, and the third is group one. Okay, hosted store component within your Nexus repository instance. Okay, and the second one is provided the proxy to make it more secure, right? The third one is a combination of hosted and proxy. Okay, the program language, as I mentioned, that it support DM packages, Ruby, ABT, and mostly all the packages. Okay, so this part is done. Let's go to the server side and check Java-v. So Java machine, create a Java machine, right? So okay, fine. What we will do, we will add as one user as a Nexus, right? With that Nexus, we will try to run our script, Nexus shell script, right? So in order to do that, what we will do it, we will add a new user, right? So we'll create one user with the name of Nexus. Okay, just hit enter. So it will prompt to that adding new user, right? Password. Just what we will do it, I will add a password, right, with one name just here, and the full name I'll give it at Asim, roll number 11111, right? I'll say yes. So user is added. So what I will do it after that, I'll just give the permission to the permission sudo er files, right? So I'll just give the sudo er Then afterwards, let's what we will do it, we will give the permission the Nexus, right, to add in the Nexus group, right? So this also is done, cannot access this for Nexus OPS. Okay, so let me just check it out, where we have our file over here. So if LL over here, our file is where, let me go CD in the Nexus, right? If you LL over here, I do have my file over here. So what I have to give it, it's over here, Ubuntu and root, right? So here is a Nexus file. So what I will do it, I will just give the permissions to the path of the same file, and I'll give directly the name of our where I am. Let me go back. Okay, just a second. LL over here. So here is the root, right? So what I will do it now, I'll give the permissions of, I'll add Nexus to the Nexus group, and for this file, right, and I'll do the same thing, and I will add it Sonar type work also, right? Sonar type work. Okay, this is fine. So the Nexus user can go and execute everything in the Nexus directory. So I'll go back to the Nexus directory. Then if I LL over here, I have a one bin folder, right? So I'll go back to the bin folder. Before that, I have to switch to SU Nexus, right? User. So it's asking me the password. Okay, fine, I have given this. So I am as a Nexus user, right? So what I will do it, where I am currently, if I check it over here, PWT is over here, right? LL. Okay, fine. So I'll move back to bin directory. Okay, if I LL over, I have a one Nexus script over here. So what I will do it, I will run the script being a Nexus users. Okay, so what I will do is just I'll copy here. This is a command dot / to in order to start it. Okay, starting Nexus is prompting that Nexus is a bin starting the Nexus. So just we will wait for the few seconds. With that, we will use communication ports. Let's see on which port this Nexus is working on. It's starting. So what happened, please ask your administrator. Okay, so I will install over here. I have to give sudo, right, to install the packages. So it is from me again, so I'll give the password. So sudo user, this will be reported. Okay, it's not a sudo file. Okay, no issue. So I'm facing the problem of sudo file, right? Whenever I'm doing anything, it's providing me to enter the password. So to avoid these things, what we can do it, we can go and add in the sudo user. Okay, so just I'll go back here. So if I go, let me open one more terminal. So just to not to make it complicated, right, I'll give net start -tuln, right? So it's saying that I don't have the packages, right, networking packages. So I will install these packages. After that, I can see on which PIDs is working, right? So if I enter over here, so still it's not yet started. Just wait for a few seconds. Just I have to use sudo, right? Sudo su, and I can use the command netstyle, so I can see what application is working over here. So system Java is working fine. 0. Okay, so it's showing that in the port 08081, okay, one application is working fine. So let's go and try to access this. In order to do that, first step what I have to do it, I have to go and check I have not enabled the security group over here. So in the security, just I'll go to the security group. Okay, just add one more root, then I will enable 8081 ports. Just I'll write custom cd 8081 and I'll enable over here from anywhere. Okay, then what I will do it, I will go back again and I'll copy the IP address of this server, then I'll give the port number, so I should be able to access my Nexus repository which is hosting on EC2 instance, right, our server. If you enter hit over here, so you're seeing here there is a one Nexus repository which is getting initialized. Okay, so this is the basic thing which we were trying to configure it. From here you can do all the configurations.